Please make me a fan.
What the fuck?
Mental vacation.
Makes me seem like a horrible individual.
And you are.
Yeah.
Have anal sex with a person who, prior to the deed, has swallowed a piece of raw bacon.
What?
like fucking a chicken. That'd be awesome. Well, make me a fan of your crime.
They still had places to go. You know, there was still bars.
Don't do it.
Make
Well,
me
and
a
yeah, you
fan
stop
podcast.
bleeding. It's weird. It takes women like 40 years to stop bleeding. Right?
How long before you have hot flashes, Carrie?
I don't know. Long ass
It's
time.
either like 40s or 50s. I think it depends.
So pretty
Yeah.
close.
I think it depends on
No.
just another
Then you better
decade.
fucking put a baby in me soon.
Just another
All right,
decade.
welcome to the Make Me a Fan podcast.
God.
I'm your host, Sean, and you know my two co-hosts, my wife, Carrie, and my brother, TJ. Today, we're going to break our record for getting sexual. So we are talking about sex dolls and sex robots. There we go, under 30 seconds. We're already into it. All right, so this topic is actually, we put up a few polls on Twitter and Facebook, and the fans spoke, and this is what they decided they wanted us to talk about. See if we're going to become fans of sex robots, sex dolls, basically. So, should probably start out with the little bit of the history of the sex dolls. Some of the first sex dolls were invented by Dutch sailors in the 17th century. The Dutch.
17th century. They go
17th
back-
century.
Wow, I wonder what they looked like back then.
Well, they were made when they'd be isolated at sea during long voyages. So these fuck dolls referred to by the French as dame de voyage and by the Spanish as dama de voyage. I don't know how
Ew,
to,
wait,
I
does that
turned
mean
into Chinese at
Does
the
that mean
end.
they all shared it?
Well, hold on, let me get there. They were made of sewn cloth or old clothes and stuffed.
So it was just like a pillow with a hole, probably.
Basically, yeah. It was, they took their old clothes and stuffed them full of more clothes, and then
That's weird.
then they would stuff them.
I don't even know what the point of even making an actual like doll would be out of clothes. Like,
It's so much work.
So it's like those old wrestling buddies that we had, probably. That's probably what they looked like.
Well, those are like the midget ones.
Yeah. Jeez.
So the Dutch sold some of these dolls to the Japanese.
I'd really like to see what these look like.
Yeah, and we all know the Japanese are basically the Google of sex dolls. You know, they're like the fucking, creators of them, basically, besides the Dutch. But they call the dolls Dutch wives, and sometimes the Japanese still refer to them as Dutch wives. So, do you think these
Touch wives.
Dutch wives?
Yeah.
Do you think they sold them new, unused sex dolls, or crusty, moldy, stiff, and sticky, used sex dolls?
Well, it was the 17th century, so it was probably used. All nasty stuff. Probably infected with the plague. I don't even know when that was, but that sounds about right.
I'm sure there's probably always been plagues.
Yeah, right.
So when we get to prices, we also get to the tiers of sex dolls. There's basically like 3 different tiers of sex dolls, not counting sex robots. So the first are the cheap dolls. Those are the ones that are usually less than like $75. They're made of welded vinyl, and they barely look like a person. And usually, from what I've heard, they burst at the seams after the first couple of uses. So some inflatable sex dolls are made in the form of animals, most notably sheep and cows. Those are mostly for folks down in Kentucky.
Oh my God. I just Googled Dutch sex dolls, and I really hope my company doesn't look at my
Oh my God.
history. They just look Asian and really real.
Well, that's probably not one from the 17th century.
No,
then.
I need to find a 17th century one.
Wait, they didn't have cameras back then, so I don't think you will.
They probably had
Yeah,
something.
they'd have to like draw it.
Yeah, that's right. You get.
I thought the cameras
you get,
didn't
like paintings.
Well, Carrie, you went for fucking art school. When did cameras come in existence?
Not
Like
the 17th century.
1800s?
Probably like the late 19th. I don't know. It's been a while since I took photo history.
That degree's doing well for you. So anyway, these dolls are more of a joke or a party novelty. They're usually not even used for sex, Except for like the animal ones, they're used by Eddie Bopp, at the Kroger warehouse in Louisville, Kentucky. He'd rather fuck an inflatable cow than fuck his wife because the inflatable cow is much better figure than her. But at the middle market price range, usually about $100 to $1,000, the dolls are made of like thicker vinyl or heavy latex without welded seams, and they're like a polyurethane or silicone mixture, and typically they're like surrounding a foam core. So most have like plastic mannequin style heads and styled wigs, plastic or glass eyes, and occasionally they actually have like, hands and feet that you can move around and shit. And some dolls they have like water filled body areas such as like the breastises or buttocks.
Wait a second, they have movable hands and feet.
Yeah.
Like they can shape their fingers to like
grip a penis or finger a vagina because, sex dolls are also for females. Even the inflatable ones, they have blow up dolls of guys with, little inflatable penises.
Why would you want an inflatable penis?
I don't know.
That would just squish inside of you and do absolutely nothing.
You talk like you speak from experience.
This is kind of detailed.
Well, I have had sex before and not with an inflatable penis.
It's like shooting pool with a wet rope.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I think the inflatable ones, those are usually just jokes. But these middle tier ones from 100 to 1,000, I think those actually have, like dildos for dicks. So you can actually, they might even be water filled. Put it in the freezer, fuck yourself with a popsicle, basically. So, Carrie's face looks disgusting.
It would gradually thaw and get soft.
It would make you hurry up.
Yeah, you better hurry
By
up.
the
and do
time
it.
you would finish, or before you even finish, it would already be limp because it would all thaw.
Well, it depends how quick you are, I guess.
Or how hot your pussy is.
Yeah. Maybe you're cold at heart. I don't know.
Anyway, these latex dolls are made in Hungary, China, and France, but only the French manufacturer Domax now remains in production. So Hungary, China, and France no longer make the latex sex dolls. The manufacturing process causes most of these latex dolls to have a fine coating of zinc oxide covering the skin.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, well, usually it's removed by the consumer by placing the doll under the shower, a.k.a. fucking it in the shower. Otherwise, latex is an inert, non-toxic, natural material, but a small percentage of users may have a latex allergy, which would, like, you miss a couple days of work and boss asks you why, and you're like, oh, I got a latex allergy.
I had to go to the doctor.
All over my dick. So then we go to the most expensive sex dolls. They're approximately like $1,200 and up. And they're usually made from silicone, which are usually above $3,000, or thermoplastic elastomer, known as TPE. Those are usually the ones like below $3,000. The dolls are either made of very lifelike. They got like faces and bodies modeled after real people. And they have realistic skin material like that they use in movies. And they have realistic or even real hair. And they have articulate PVC or metal skeletons inside with flexible joints. So you can prop them up however you want. You want to get the doggy style or, however you want.
Wow.
That's the first move that goes in the top of my head. So the silicone and TPE dolls are a lot heavier than the cheaper ones, even the vinyl or latex inflatable ones, which are mostly air. But they're still only roughly half the weight of a real person of comparable size. So if you get a 5'5", 110-pound, sex doll, it's only going to weigh 50 pounds. You ever try to move a 50-pound kid, though, while it's sleeping?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still pretty heavy.
Interesting to use that comparison in this
Yeah,
conversation.
It's probably a bad comparison. You ever try moving a 40-pound dog that doesn't want to be picked up?
Yeah.
That's probably a bad comparison, too. But I like holding Ava, our dog, because she's like my little baby, but she's 40 pounds and hates being held. So they also make so-called non-standard forms. So in Japan, you can get inflatable love pillows or dakimakura, which are basically like the original ones. They're just printed pillows with a life-size picture of a porn star or anime character. You know how those fucking Japanese love their anime and weird fetish shit. So often, or other less commonly known love dolls also include overweight, intersex, elderly, and alien.
What?
Wait, what's intersex?
Oh, come on, TJ. You're a millennial. You should know this.
Is that where you're like undecided? Or
Like it's a chick, but it has a dick?
I think, yeah. Do you know you can't say?
Parts?
Do you know you can't call transvestite chicks with dicks anymore?
Oh man.
Yeah, you got to call them men that don't shut up.
Oh my god.
It's all right. Only stupid women don't like this podcast. Smart women don't listen to it.
Shut up.
All right, so some companies manufacture cloth sex dolls using the same technology that it's used to make plush toys. So anyway, now on to the machines. Cue the theme song.
Dun dun dun.
There are machines.
So in 2010, a sex doll named Roxy, that's with 3 X's if you want to Google her.
I do.
She has a capacity to play back pre-recorded speech cues, and she was demonstrated at a trade show. In 2015, Matt McMullen, the creator of the Real Doll, stated that he intends to create sex dolls with the capacity to hold conversations.
Oh my god, she looks terrified.
That's just the mode that she's in right
She
now.
probably has a real brain and just is being raped over and over and over again and can't talk because she's a doll.
This just got real deep and dark.
So, sex robots range roughly from 5,000 to about 15,000.
Wait a second. What does she say? What are
Huh?
things she says?
You can have conversations.
No, okay, I'll go back. If anyone wants to rewind, you're going to hear this twice. In 2015, Matt McMullen, the creator of the Real Doll, stated that he intends to create sex dolls with the capacity to hold conversations.
I thought you said that that's all right there, though, could talk.
She has the capacity to play back pre-recorded speech cues.
Oh, pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So, like, whoever buys her would have to have someone put speeches
No,
in
she
there.
comes with pre-recorded speech cues. You buy her.
Yeah, like,
and-
what are her speech cues? That's
Okay,
my question.
Roxy, do you want to blow me? Cue speech recorded. I'd love to blow you right now. I love sucking dick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something like that.
You're just making... Okay.
It'd be similar probably to like Siri, but not that advanced, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Right.
it'd be like a really retarded Siri.
I wonder what she sounds
It'd be like Alexa. Well, it'd probably be porn stars recording it. Because Roxy is based off a porn star, I think. And a lot of the newer sex robots they're coming out with are based on like real people. Because you can buy like Jenna Jameson's vagina that you can fuck, much like one of our friends stole from the porn shop back when we were younger, and we won't name him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's Farrah Abraham one because I heard about it on Teen Mom.
Does it pop out a kid afterwards?
I don't know. I just remember one of the producers of Teen Mom are like, "Are you sure you want to be doing this? Like, your daughter's going to be like a teenager and older someday,
Yeah.
and kids are going to know or find out about what her mom has done."
So that was after the sex tape, I take it?
I have
The
no
backdoor
idea.
teenage
Well,
mom?
so she has 2 now,
Oh, really?
if not more. Right?
Of course, you would know, TJ.
Oh yeah, I watched Teen Mom back in the day.
You think Farrah Abraham is hot?
I never said
You
that.
don't have to think someone's hot to want to see their porn tape.
Yeah, I watched Teen Mom like as it was airing, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, she has a sex tape. So I was like, all right,
I watched
check it out.
I watched the China sex tape, and
Yeah.
she's
Ugh.
not attractive at all. She looks like a man with a giant 4-inch clit.
So a man.
Yeah. So basically a man. Yeah, so you don't have to...
When did you watch that?
Well, she's been dead for how many years now?
That was, I think, back when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So, a long
That
time
was a while ago. Don't worry.
12 years ago, probably.
I'm not worried. Don't worry.
So anyway, as I was saying, the sex robots range roughly between 5,000 to 15,000. And some products like Harmony by Abyss Creations are sold specifically with certain body configurations and characteristics, including whatever you want with the weight, bra size, nipple size, skin tone, eye color, or lip color. But others like Roxy from True Companion are customizable. giving consumers a chance to choose among many options from complexion, from Caucasian, Asian, tanned, light-skinned African, or dark-skinned African. I think that's all the races. Yeah, that's all our listeners anyway.
Oh my God, Sean.
Carrie. Okay, Carrie.
Okay,
Are you
Sean.
listening?
Sean.
Okay.
Are you listening? Sean.
Another feature for the sex bots are personality traits. Harmony can display simulated orgasms through facial expressions, shifting her eyes and the emulation of sounds she hears.
That'd be creepy as fuck.
Yeah. She can be pre-programmed with distinctive personalities, including Wild Wendy, an outgoing and audacious personality, or Frigid Farrah, who's super bashful. Want to have sex with a schoolgirl or a woman dressed for the workplace or the gym? There's a lifelike doll for all that. You can even get a doll dressed as a geisha that dispenses drinks when you squeeze. A geisha that dispenses. Well, anyway, when you squeeze her right tit, milk comes out.
What?
Yeah.
What the
To
fuck?
put in your tea or coffee?
Yeah, or your mouth.
Oh.
No, that cannot be
Yeah.
real milk. It must be just some nasty.
I'm
like,
sure you have
white
to put the
water.
milk in it.
Yeah.
I don't think it ships with milk in it. I don't think the FDA.
Put like orange juice in there maybe too.
That would like gets in your eye. It's all acidic.
It burns.
Yeah. So let's now that we know the history, we can start the discussion. David Levy, however you say it, Levy. Is that Levy or Levi?
Levy, probably. I think
Levi.
No, VY.
VY.
Levy. Levi would probably be with an I.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Anyway, he was the author of Love and Sex with Robots, The Evolution of Human-Robot Relationships. And he said in a 2008 interview, by 40 or 50 years, everyone of a marriageable age will have grown up with electronics all around them at home and will not see this as abnormal. People who grow up with all sorts of electronic gizmos will find android robots to be fairly normal as friends, partners, and lovers. He predicted that since, quote, the nature of marriage has changed, humans will be marrying robots in around 50 years. This could decrease the amount of human marriages, causing collateral consequences.
Hasn't that already happened, or is that not legal? Like to marry a sex doll?
No, you can only marry someone of your same sex or opposite sex.
I was like,
I was like, wait,
how are you guys
what?
married?
Yeah, no, you can only marry another human right now.
Yeah, okay.
Or I think in one state, multiple humans. But so, will sex robots ruin or save marriages?
So,
What do you think, Carrie?
Will they ruin or save marriage?
Yeah. Do you think it's going to make people, move back in time and be like, we don't want to fuck the Terminator. I want to go old fashioned and actually marry a person? Or you think men are just going to get sick of it, trying and everything, and all my friends are just going to be married to sex robots?
I think it depends maybe on the situation.
So on average, what do you think?
Like a percentage, or?
Yeah, do you think it's more likely to save or ruin marriage in general?
I'm leaning towards save.
Okay. I can see that. What do you think, Tej?
So this obviously isn't like now, right? This is within 50 years, right?
Yeah,
Is that
they
kind of what
said
you're
40
saying?
to 50 years, because by that time, everyone of the marital age will have grown up with, Siri, Alexa, Roombas, all that shit. And they're just going to see it, as normal.
I don't know. I don't feel that it'll ever be like the majority of the population will be buying into this. I think it'll still be like a niche,
Like a taboo?
Yeah, like maybe 10% or 20%. And in those situations, I would say it would help the situation, yeah, or help marriages or improve them.
All right. Do you guys think that fucking a sex doll is considered cheating?
No.
You don't think if I went and fucked a sex robot, that wouldn't be cheating?
I think that it would have to be discussed and agreed upon.
Our dog Ava's chiming in right now. Ava, come over here. Ava, come here.
She's like, Mom, don't answer that way.
Right.
All right. So you don't think it would be cheating, Carrie?
Well, I think that you
want to think about it for a minute?
No, I don't think it would be cheating, but I do think that it would be something that should be discussed prior, because
What about like an inflatable doll?
The same, because how can you have an emotional or, physical connection with something that isn't technically real?
I'll get back to that. Let me ask TJ and get his.
I mean, I'm sure there's freaks out there that do.
No,
but
I'm gonna comment on that. I
no
already knew what you were gonna
to
say.
any of the freaks listening to this right
To
now.
each their own, right?
Yeah, thank you for listening.
I said no apologies.
I would say that within obviously 50 years, they're going to probably be advanced enough where, I mean, obviously you're going to be able to tell they're fake still. But I still think people are going to have feelings for them, and then maybe, oh hey honey, you want to go have sex tonight? No, I just fucked Alexa in the bathroom. I'm good. I mean, that's going to become an issue, and then it's going to turn into cheating. So I could definitely see it being cheating.
All right, so that's weird that TJ thinks it's cheating. Carrie doesn't.
Well, because I feel like if a man is using if a man or a woman is using a sex doll, then either they have a sex addiction or they're not getting anything from their spouse.
So I was going to ask. So is masturbation cheating then?
No.
Okay, because fucking a sex doll is just masturbating.
Be right.
Yeah, but when it gets to a robot, especially artificial intelligence that can think, then I think, it's definitely cheating. All right, so on to the next subject. John Danaher, a Kiel University Law School lecturer with an interest in the ways human lives can be enhanced by robots and the ethics problems that stem from that, published a paper that examines whether sex work might one day be dominated by robots rather than human sex workers. Hookers, prostitutes, call girls, whores, as, the Christians call them. He also offers his easily understood summary of it for the Institute of Ethics and Emerging Technologies. The paper lays out two different hypotheses, one in which robots dominate the sex industry, and another in which robot use actually leads to an increase in human sex work. Yeah, so he goes both ways on it. But in both scenarios, he argues a basic income policy would be helpful, either to fund newly unemployed prostitutes or to provide an alternative to people who have lost their jobs to robots so they don't end up as prostitutes. So basically, sex robots are going to take hookers' jobs, so we're all going to need socialism to save us, regardless of communism. So would prostitution go down?
Of course, you would find a political aspect.
Well, that's what he's saying. That's what basic income is.
Yeah.
So will prostitution go down if real-life sex robots were cheaper and more readily available?
I will say it'll go down.
Ask that again.
Will human prostitution, go down if real-life sex robots were cheaper and more readily available? If they were cheaper than a cell phone?
Yeah, because sex robots would probably be a lot cleaner and better looking than real prostitutes.
Yeah, they're customizable. So I mean,
yeah, and you got one in your closet.
Yeah, instead of getting Toothless Sally on the corner, you're getting somebody with full.
Is that a girl you actually know?
No.
Okay. All right. So here is women's biggest complaint about sex dolls or robots. Quote. The idea is robots would resist your sexual advances so that you can rape them, end quote. Professor Sharkey said. I didn't get her or his real name because I didn't give a fuck. But they said, quote, some people say it's better they rape robots than rape real people. There are other people saying this would just encourage rapists more. A White House Council report on women and girls from November of 2015 says that heterosexual men who are exposed to pornography and men's lifestyles magazines and reality TV programs that objectify women are more likely to be upset. My mouth is really dry right now. Hold on. I'm going to take a drink.
It's all right. It wouldn't be Make Me a Fan podcast if you didn't stumble over your words.
World's best talker. All right. So they'll be more accepting of violence against women. In a world in which you can sleep with a prostitute and then murder her in the video game Grand Theft Auto, sex robots are misogynist wish fulfillments. Basically, they're saying it's illegal to have sex with an adult woman who does not consent, and consenting is not something that these robots are capable That doesn't matter, the argument goes, because these are not women, but animatronic objects, so consent's not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is making women basically sex objects, basically.
Yeah, they're saying it can
And/or men.
influence society's attitude towards women. She's not a someone, she's a machine. But the creators are quick to respond with when questions of moral ambiguity are raised. Is it ethically dubious to force my toaster to make my toast? If a woman can have a vibrator, the True Companion website asks smoothly, why can't men have a sex robot? Having a sex robot is just another aid that allows both men and women to make their dreams become reality.
Okay.
So the question is, would the availability of rape robots stop rape and violent sex crimes against women, or will it increase it?
Increase it.
So you think if guys can just have sex with a sex robot however they want, they're just going to abandon that sex robot and go out and rape real women?
Yeah, because there could be people out there who maybe have the desire to be mean or evil like that, and then when we create these sex robots for raping, it will just open those gates for them.
What do you think, Teach?
Well, I totally see that view and agree that it's a possibility, but I think in general I'm going to say that it's not going to increase rapes.
So you think it's like pot? It's not. They claim it's a great gateway drug, but it's not really.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
Okay, I really just want to bring something up though, because this is really in my head. So all this conversing about sex or robots or whatever.
Yeah.
It's reminding me of Westworld.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you going to bring that up?
No.
Okay, so Westworld, though, like when answering these questions, have you seen Westworld, TJ?
Like the first 4 episodes, I think.
Oh my God, it's so
spoilers
good.
for anyone that hasn't watched it.
Oh my God, if you
Don't
haven't
tell me
watched
the
it,
end.
watch it. I won't tell you the end, but talking about this with these questions being asked is definitely making me think about Westworld, because when you think about like a robot, you don't really think about
like a person.
Yeah, like you're using comparisons of a toaster and a dildo. But when I think of a robot, I think because I'm thinking about Westworld, where it's like robots have
super advanced.
Yeah, they have built-in,
and that's what they want to get to.
Things.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think maybe it would become like, in Westworld, women get raped
or they kill people.
People
just for
get
the thrill of
killed.
it.
Yeah, and eventually, basically in Westworld, these robots start, all these memories start collecting, and suddenly they start having feelings and emotions, and maybe that wouldn't actually happen, but maybe it would. You don't know.
Yeah.
But do you think the guys in Westworld that go to Westworld just to rape and kill robots, do you think they do that in real life though?
Well, and that's the thing, is like they have that one guy in there who is, those two guys go there together, and one of them is like just this fucking asshole that wants to go kill a bunch of people and basically just be a wild child. And it's like, I feel like that personality can't just hibernate the rest of the year.
Yeah, it would bleed into his real life.
But just
eventually.
playing devil's advocate with what you just said, then he has that personality that it's going to bleed through. He can't contain it. So if he didn't have the sex robots, he would be raping anyway.
No, I think maybe if he didn't feed it, it might not grow. But maybe by going to Westworld, he's feeding it, and therefore he is growing those desires to be like that.
But
yeah, I could see both sides.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. But then, like, one thing they always tell you when you go, like, to therapy for anger management or other, like, personal issues, they always say, find an outlet, relieve your frustrations, and he's finding an outlet. So maybe that would contain him. But then, obviously, there are some people where it's not going to. It's going to make it worse.
Yeah,
like
it's never going to be enough. No,
Yeah.
he's going to want to move on to the real thing. Yep. And that does kind of bring me on to the next topic. There's a company called Trotla, Trottla. It's a company run by a known pedophile, Shin Takagi. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he's a pedophile, so whatever, I don't care. He creates eerily lifelike child sex dolls for those with pedophilia. The Japanese company creates the dolls to provide pedophiles with an outlet for their sexual cravings. He hopes the dolls will give pedophiles a healthy channel for their urges. Is it possible for non-offending pedophiles, though? The word pedophile and child molester are often used interchangeably, but there's actually a distinction. the news article I got this from said it's important to separate pedophilia from child molestation. Doing so does not justify or condone either one of them at all. It simply allows two distinct but related issues to be addressed correctly. Despite popular usage, pedophilia is a specific and limited term. Strictly speaking, pedophilia is a persistent sexual interest in children. Although a definitive cause for pedophilia has not been discerned, many have had unhealthy or traumatic experiences in their childhood. This sexual interest is divorced from action, meaning pedophilia attraction does not always lead to assault against a child. This distinction has found support in specific work. David Regal in 2004 found that the vast majority, 78.6% of respondents, self-identified boy-preferring pedophiles, reported no legal history as a result of allegations of sexual contact with a boy. Dr. Michael C. Sato in 2006 studied men who are likely pedophiles, and they all had child pornography charges, finding that 57% had no known history of sexual contact with a child. In fact, there are so-called, quote, virtuous pedophiles who have never offended but are living with pedophilic attraction. They are committed to avoid the abuse of children while acknowledging their attraction to children. Their website, which I will not share the link, provides a forum for these people to talk through everything from their sexual struggles to their favorite movie. So as troubling as this whole phenomenon is, the big question remains. Will Trotla's dolls help pedophiles avoid becoming child molesters, or will it push them to cross that line?
I think that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, no, you shouldn't. No. No. If you have those kind of attractions, then go to those chat rooms, get support, whatever the fuck you need to do. But don't be buying no child fucking sex dolls or child pornography. Like,
all right, let me ask this. Is pedophilia a mental disease like autism, alcoholism, eating disorders, or schizophrenia?
yes.
Oh, TJ?
Yeah, I would agree, because I know there's a lot of psychologists out there that do believe it's a sexual orientation, like just like homosexuality, lesbian, whatever. So yeah, sure.
Or you don't choose to be that way, you're born that way.
Yeah.
So then how do you treat it? Like right now, if you admit to liking kids, which is sick as fuck, you are instantly locked up. So how would you treat them? Like an alcoholic or someone with autism? They have non-alcoholic beer, so drunks can taste the booze and not get drunk. As fucked up as it is, isn't child sex doll like the same thing?
No,
Okay.
because with like alcoholics or eating disorders or drugs, you go to rehab and therapy and all, group therapy and all that shit. I don't know. TJ, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, like Sean was saying, there's those websites, the forums. They have the outlets for them.
Yeah.
And then,
But if you go to a therapist and you say, I'm attracted to children, like they instantly turn you in, don't they?
No,
I thought that was...
They can't. That would be... They could lose their license if they do that.
I thought that was the law. Like if you threaten you're going to harm yourself or someone else.
Yeah, that's a distinction. They have to know that there's an imminent threat to themselves or another person. If they turn their client in too soon based on no proof, then they violate their ethic code and they lose their license. That was one of the main reasons why I chose not to become a therapist.
Okay.
Because if I was seeing a client and he's like, yeah, I'm attracted to boys, this and that, I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I go to the police, turn him in, he can sue me, and then I would lose my license, my insurance would skyrocket, my career would be over. But if I turn him in and it prevents, some kid from being attacked, then I'd be a hero or
if
whatever.
you
but
don't turn him in and then some other kid's fucking life is ruined.
But that
and then I could be sued again, too, if I didn't act. So it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So there's that super thin line where, it's like,
and
okay.
you can't fucking sue a doctor if they fucking discharge you from the hospital too early with a 9mm subdermal hematoma.
Midline, yeah.
Sorry. Go on, Carrie. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I lost my train of thought. The thing about like turning away or being astonished by a person saying that is like like putting that person in jail or arresting them or prison or whatever, like is going to do about as much good as putting an alcoholic or a heroin addict or something or a prostitute behind bars. It's not going to solve the problem. It's just going to temporarily stop it. So
And it's probably going to make them worse by going to a jail where they're exposed to worse shit.
yeah, maybe they need to come out, or have they not already come out with some type of drug, like pharmaceutical drug that can maybe like. You would think that they've done studies on what the
hormone suppression drugs they can take.
Like, I wonder if like people who are addicted to like child pornography and that, I wonder if their brains have been evaluated to see like what is different in their brains that causes them to have those urges. Because it's just so abnormal.
Yeah.
Well, it's only abnormal to societal like.
That's true.
Construct. I mean,
homosexuality like 4 years ago was it 4 years ago? Or was it like 6 years ago? When pretty much even like Obama and Hillary Clinton were saying no, marriage is between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only become a social norm in the past few years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not comparing the two, but they are comparable.
Yeah.
I've read so many stories about boyfriends raping their girlfriends, young children, even
toddler
a
and shit.
baby.
Yeah.
A baby.
Yeah.
Like, how can you have any kind of sexual attraction to a baby?
Yeah.
Like it just really makes me wonder what the fuck is wrong with their brain.
Well, and then there too, you say they're better off the streets because
in my opinion, if you have raped a baby or a child, you deserve to die.
I 100% agree with that.
We're
talking about someone
society.
that just like they look at porn and like it doesn't interest them, then they see a fucking a McDonald's ad on TV or whatever that has kids. I don't know.
Right.
And they're like, something moves in them.
They watch the Disney Channel and get off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What I wrote down is, I think if someone has a sexual interest in kids, but they don't want to act on it, if they want to get help and go to a shrink or doctor for help, I don't think they should be punished if they've never looked at or for child porn, and if they've never done anything bad to a child. I think after they come for help, they should obviously involve them being closely monitored to ensure they don't act on any impulses. Should they be allowed to fuck a sex child doll? I don't know. Like, part of me says yes, that if it prevents the harm of a child, then sure. Put the creeps together in a special pedo house away from everyone and let them bang all the kid dolls they want. But honestly,
they can go buy a doll and fucking make it themselves if they're that fucking desperate.
But honestly, I think there's no help for the sick fucks, and they should just be killed. But that's not really right either, because I do think it's a mental illness, and they shouldn't be afraid of jail if they have urges and have never acted and honestly want help.
Yeah, I think help needs to be more readily accessible to people like that. Like that guy that lived by us that killed himself or whatever.
Oh yeah, in the last episode on the train tracks.
Yeah, I mean, it's disgusting as that was, that what that man did. It's like, pedophiles have a really hard time making it through society once they're
like out it.
Yeah. I mean, that guy was living in his parents' basement, and his parents just happened to live by a school bus stop, and for that reason, he was fucked.
Well, no, because of that reason, they came and checked his computer and found kitty porn.
Yeah, but
I think he did deserve to die, because those images, they're not just, you're not a 30-year-old porn star taking photos. There's some kid that's being forced against their will or not knowing what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, it's not a victimless crime.
No,
there are victims.
I totally agree, but I also think that it's hard for people in that position.
Yeah, they have no way to get help.
Yeah. I mean, even where to live.
Well, I was just going to say, what about to get off pedophiles, like what about just the sex offenders? Like, say I was 18, had sex with a 15-year-old freshman, I'm a sex offender for the rest of my life.
Yep.
But say I also struggle from mental illness, and so I'm homeless. Like, in Milwaukee County, there's only like 1 or 2 shelters out of like anywhere that you can stay, because either there's kids at the shelters, or they're next to schools or whatever. Like, if you're a sex offender, you have to be on the registry. But if you don't have a stable house to live, like, you're going to jail. Like, I mean,
Yeah, how about
we're not helping them, by any means.
Yeah, or you got a 16-year-old girl that sends nude pictures to her boyfriend. He shares the pictures. Suddenly she's a sex offender for distributing porn, and so is he for having it distributed to his friends, and they're all sex offenders too.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of 16 and 17-year-old sex offenders because a girlfriend sent her boyfriend nude pictures.
Basically, just fucking raise your kids right so they don't turn out to be fuck-ups.
Yeah. So I'm going to say let there be sex dolls, or if there's going to be sex dolls, you have to enroll with the shrink, and the government has open access to your internet history, and you're going to be watched hard to make sure that you don't cross that line.
Big Brother.
Yep. That's one time I do support Big Brother. Monitor those sick bucks.
There's this one stat that I want to pull out, too. This article I looked at was for the UK. So this is Britain, and Britain has about 65 million people. The National Crime Agency estimates that 750,000 men, just men, in Britain have an interest in having sex with children, with 250,000 sexually attracted to children under the age of 12. So that's, almost 250,000 attracted to kids under 12, and almost 750,000 attracted to kids.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
So we need to go
huge.
bomb Britain then.
Right? They're our ally, but maybe they shouldn't be.
Well, what kind of percentage do you think you'd have over in a country like fucking Syria or Iran or Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, less population too, and not, I guess, as advanced socially as us. Like, obviously they don't believe in, homosexuality and other things that we think is common now. So
yeah, I saw a video online. It was what happens if you rape a kid. I think it was in an African country, and you're tied up to like they have a pole going across. Like you're gonna, what's that fucking thing where you go underneath it backwards? How low can you go?
Limbo?
Limbo, yeah.
It's like a limbo pole, right? And your arms are stretched over it, so like basically the pole goes underneath your armpits, and then your hands are tied to your legs. Your like hands and knees are tied together over this pole, right? And you have they keep adding weights to your testicles, and they leave you there until your testicles fall off and you die.
Wait, what is that for?
That's for raping a kid
okay.
in some African place. I don't remember where it was.
Maybe that's what we need to start doing.
Castration.
Are we going to have a podcast episode where if we're a fan of torturing people for doing crimes? I mean, we already did the death penalty.
Yeah,
so
I think
we
talked about that. We got that great soundbite of Carrie wanting to bury someone and up to their neck and then stoning their head to death.
Nice. I'm sorry.
I don't remember that.
This mic thing is like literally slowly creeping all up in my space. Like,
Is it getting ready to fall?
yeah, it's like, do you see it leaning?
Yeah.
All right, so we had some technical issues there. I don't know
Difficulties.
what happened, but we're back. You probably won't even know we were gone because we time travel. All right, so do you guys have anything else you want to add before we get to the final thoughts? Or you want to... Everyone just give their final thoughts on sex robots, sex dolls, what you think of it in general. Are you a fan? Should it be legal? Blah, blah, blah. What are your general thoughts? Carrie, you're a lady. I'll let you go
If
first.
sex robots should be legal?
Just in general, like your thoughts on sex robots based on this podcast.
Are you a fan? Are you not?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Each their own. It's not like you're committing a crime, I guess, necessarily.
Yeah.
If you choose to buy a sex robot, then that's your freedom as an American, I guess.
America.
Yeah. All right, TJ, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like Carrie said, to each their own. If that's something you're into, if you want to use that as an outlet for, I guess, certain desires or whatever, fine, as long as it doesn't go any further than that. But as for like being in a relationship, obviously, I think you should talk to your partner first. I mean, I know some people don't like masturbating. Like, they find that as, like, wrong. So, yeah, talk with your partner. And then I don't think, like, sex dolls are going to become, I don't want to use the word mainstream, but maybe I guess mainstream until they're more realistic. Until they have to get past that creepy artificial factor. Once they get past being fake looking, then I think they'll become more popular.
Yeah.
So like right now, like they can somewhat respond to you and converse, or they have somewhat of emotions, but it's still artificial for the most part. But yeah, I mean, sure, use them if you want,
Right.
if you can afford them, the good ones.
Yeah. During my research, I found that most of the guys who are like really interested in sex robots are guys who have been really hurt in their relationships. They might be into like some really weird shit, and they're either scared of women rejecting their fantasies and thinking they're freaks, or that they're just sick of even trying to get with women. They don't want to work for anything sexual. They just want a sex slave that is ready to do whatever they want, whenever they want. And then afterwards, there's no cuddling or calling a cab or second date. And these guys just seem sad, and they're kind of pitiful, and you got to feel bad for them. Like even the guys who are designing and building sex robots. I mean, you got someone like Elon Musk, who's basically a hero who's building the future. Then you got a guy talking about, quote, "You'll never feel shamed again," and he's building a sex robot in a shack.
I'm pretty sure there's also a thing, though, where you send your sex doll out to be cleaned.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who I saw that was interviewed about wanting sex robots, he gave all the reasons why sex robots are a good thing, and all the guys that were interviewed, they all look fucking creepy as fuck. Just like sad, lonely, creepy fucks. So are sex robots something I'd be interested in getting if I was a single guy and I had money? No. Sure, it might be, not as much of a hassle as a real girlfriend. Like,
excuse you,
hold
what?
on. There wouldn't be compromise or arguments or sitting outside a fitting room at the mall for hours while she shops. Sure. But there wouldn't be that companionship that I think is very important.
Exactly.
Along with friendship. Plus, I'm sure there's plenty of hassle with the sex robot. I can't imagine the cleanup's very easy, as Carrie just mentioned. And, I mean, how often does an app on your phone freeze? Or your tablet or your computer randomly crashes and restarts?
I can just picture mid-orgasm.
Yeah, would you want something like that happening while it's gripping your dick?
Ooh, yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
what if
or
they
like on
move?
top of you, like pounded, like just boom, boom, boom. A female getting pounded by a giant black sex robot. Just someone.
That
fucking,
sounds awful.
He's got like a spear for a dick.
But then I wonder though if you can talk to them like you can in Westworld.
Yeah, like Siri, stop! It hurts. Like you wanted.
I feel
you
like
wanted the frigid one. I'm the rapist one.
oh my god, I feel like robots would. Oh god, yeah, it would just kill people's like ability to be polite. Like sometimes I feel bad talking to Alexa, just shouting out demands to her. And I'm
Like
like,
that damn song.
I don't
Come
have to
on.
say please or thank you. That's weird.
You could.
Have you ever
be nice
tried
to her.
it? Does she respond to that?
I don't know. I should.
She tells you jokes.
Ava. Jesus.
All right, Ava probably has to go outside and poop. So I guess.
As she always does during these
Yeah.
podcasts.
So I guess my final thoughts are this. Is it something I'd want? No. Would I try it just for the hell of it if I was single? Maybe. I'm pretty open-minded to new shit, right, Carrie? Ha, ha, ha.
I plead the fifth.
Do I think sex robots should be legal or illegal? I say as long as humans or animals aren't harmed. I say let people fuck robots. If there isn't a demand for them, then the market's going to decide and no one's going to buy any sex robots and nothing's going to happen.
Exactly.
So those are my thoughts.
Consumerism.
All right. So you guys got anything else, or should I read off our new sponsors?
I just want to say one quick thing, and that is I did a while back watch a True Life on MTV that about people that were addicted to sex dolls.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I don't.
So you did do research.
This was so many years ago, though, and all I remember is that the majority of the guys on there were fucking weirdo creep nerds.
Yeah. Like I said, they all seem like sad, lonely, hurt creeps.
So
like
they
people,
need something to make
like
them happy, right?
recluses,
Recluses, yeah.
loners, like
Yeah, they
people
all have
that
like
just,
mullets and they have WWE belts hanging up in their
that don't
room.
ever leave their house and have their like rooms stacked full of like video games and comic books.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with
Is that
that.
what your room
I was going
looks
to say,
like?
there's nothing wrong with my room.
That's like the basement we're sitting in right now.
No, like hoarder style.
No, like that Pokemon Go guy That,
Oh, yeah.
because he spent
Yeah.
10 grand. Like
Yeah.
I picture him wanting a
with
sex doll.
anime
Oh,
with
yeah.
anime sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably has a
And
special pillow in his
pillows.
bedroom.
Yeah, right.
He's got a Dutch doll in his room.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember one guy like he would like treat her like she was a real person and like bathe her and like
Oof.
eat
Hey, you're
dinner
gonna have
with
to take
her.
sex robots out to dinner and shit. Be like, I'll have a steak and my girlfriend will have some oil.
Or she
Ew.
needs,
She's
Oh.
tweaking right
she
now.
needs to get plugged in.
Yeah, show us some WD 40
Oh my god.
and a battery charge.
Oh god.
You want me to show you?
I
her-
wonder if
her
they get
plug-in?
like infections on their penises from like fucking the girl too much in
Well, yeah,
their
they don't
own
clean
cum.
The
it.
robot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they don't clean it, I imagine.
Yeah, I,
I
think that's
wonder-
why my friend had to get rid of his hip pussy pocket thing.
I wonder yeah.
He said it's too hard to clean up.
I wonder how much the people that do clean those things get paid.
Probably minimum wage.
Yeah, no, they're probably you got to probably ship them to Japan, so they probably get made
No,
like 5 cents.
no,
a-
because on True Life they also had the people on there that do clean the dolls, that get the
Oh.
and their little factory thing.
maybe
looks creepy as
Foxconn does
fuck.
it. They're building that new.
and they like replace doll parts when they break because men get fucking rough with their dolls and break this shit.
Sure, women do too. They got claw marks all the way down the back and
There
shit.
was no woman on the True Life episode.
Yeah, because MTV's sexist.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to watch that episode now. You should find it so we can watch
That's
it.
sexist that I have to find it.
Yeah.
Because you're not smart enough to operate a TV. Come on, Carrie. I'm
Shut
a
the hell
feminist.
up. That's your job.
Whoa, that's sexist.
Welcome to 1950. All right, so sponsor time. You guys got anything
Yeah.
else?
No.
All right, so our first sponsor is The Suicide Man, a new graphic novel about a man who loses his dog to bone cancer. He drinks himself to death, and upon entering the pearly gates of heaven, he learns that all dogs don't go to heaven. This begins his journey. He declares war on every deity. If all dogs don't go to heaven, then all gods must die. Read it for free soon on Facebook at The Suicide Man. And the Make Me a Fan podcast today, this special episode is also brought to you by True Companion. Order your doll at truecompanion.com and Abyss Creations. You can go there, customize any kind of sex robot you want at www.realdoll.com. Use a promo code MakeMeAFan for 10% off your first sex doll order. And yes, if you use that code, you can get a sex doll in the likeness of me or TJ.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for not mentioning me.
Yeah, there's a special code for the Carrie sex doll. I already got 3 of them on the way. I got a brunette one, and then I got a redhead one.
What? You've always been opposed to me ever
And then
dyeing my hair.
I have a black version, too. A black Carrie.
All right.
She still talks the same, though, and has blonde hair, but she's black. She's basically that
It's
chick
so
from
weird.
Clueless. That black chick from Clueless. with
Oh,
with
Yeah.
the blue eyes.
And my blue eyes are real and not contacts.
Yeah, I know. And she's like a hardcore Republican, too. Never would have guessed it.
I don't know what
All
you're
right,
talking
so
about.
anyway.
what?
All right, guys, we'll be back again in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening. Bye, bitches.
It was like the robot crashed for a minute. What?
What the fuck?
Mental vacation.
Makes me seem like a horrible individual.
And you are.
Yeah.
Have anal sex with a person who, prior to the deed, has swallowed a piece of raw bacon.
Like fucking a chicken. That'd be awesome. Well, make me a fan of your crime.
They still had places to go. You know, there were still bars.
Make me a fan, Comcast.